I thought going into the winter baseball meetings, it was a twofold question. Would you be a better team if you kept Juan Soto and this batting order together because these guys are going to bounce back? Or would you be a better team if you traded Juan Soto, got the financial relief you needed, and then could reinvest to go fill the other holes? Tough call. Padres' hand was forced. They trade Juan Soto. He goes to the New York Yankees. You tell me, salary dump or win-win for both sides? They had to cut the payroll. My big question, did they get the right players? I think not. If you look at the Yankee roster at the end of the season, their top young players at Yankee Stadium were young pitcher Clark Schmidt, power hitting outfielder Jason Dominguez, second baseman, third baseman, power hitter Gleyber Torres, and two hot minor leaguers, Osvaldo Peraza, a second baseman, and Ev Pereira, an outfielder. They did not get any of the top young players at the top of the Yankee roster in the final week of the season. Now, they did get a pretty good starting pitcher in Michael King. Record wasn't great, but he had a 2.48 ERA, which to me is a really impressive number. They got, I think, a really good pitcher, Drew Thorpe, 14-2 last year. Lower minors, might be a year and a half to 2 years away. Not a power pitcher, but a very crafty pitcher. They got Johnny Brito, who was a part-time starter, part-time reliever with the Yankees. Randy Vasquez, who had a 2-2 record with a decent ERA coming out of the bullpen. And journeyman 33-year-old catcher Kyle Higashioka. John, in essence, they traded an MVP like Juan Soto, and they only got one established starter in Michael King, one hot prospect in Drew Thorpe. Now, granted, they also created $38 million in budget space by moving Soto's contract and Trent Grisham's contract. I'm told they're bidding on Shoto Imanaga, the Japanese left-handed pitcher, but the price tag on all pitching has gone up. They need one established starter, if not two. They need at least a couple of setup relievers. They need a left fielder. They need a center fielder. They got $58 million in budget space. Lost out on the bidding for Jung-Hoo Lee, who went to the San Francisco Giants. I don't get the sense they're willing to pay an exorbitant price to go get Corbin Burns on the trade front. Shane Bieber is still in Cleveland for some odd reason. Price tag on Dylan Cease of the White Sox has gone up. And, of course, there is no Nick Martinez, gone to Cincinnati. There is no Seth Lugo, gone to the Royals. There is no Luis Garcia. He's gone to the Angels. And we're waiting for the last shoe to fall, which would be the loss of the other starting pitcher, Michael Wacha. And, of course, we're waiting for Snell and Hader to vacate the premises. So I'll spin back. I threw a lot at you as you're offloading the luggage from the cruise ship you were on. Salary dump or win-win? I just listed who I would have gone after as compared to who the Padres got. Did they get enough? John, the floor is yours.
This whole thing sucks. I mean, imagine the excitement we had at Fans Fest, like 11 months ago at Petco and the Fab Four. And man, we were going to rock and roll, and everything has gone sideways here. I hate trading Soto, this Hall of Fame talent in the prime of his career. I was hoping there was a way to keep him, because I thought if they keep him, these guys are all going to bounce back. Now, the part that I don't have all the inside information, you probably do, about the dollars, the debt ratio. Are they is their hand being forced to cut spending by the league, or is that by the ownership group? And does the passing of our beloved Peter Seidler play a role in this? Because I agree with you. I don't think they got value in return. They got a bunch of maybes and then a couple of reaches, for a Hall of Fame talent. I mean, this is really shocking. And there's all these holes on the roster and maybe no money to fill them.
Yes. Period, exclamation point, end of argument. Hand was forced by Major League Baseball because they had to get in compliance with the luxury tax thresholds. Hand forced by, I think, ownership that looked at the amount of money, the volume of money that was spent, sometimes wasted by AJ Preller, and they've reeled him back in. This is the structure of how you're going to operate. This is the amount of money you got in the box. You better go get it done. I just don't think they got the right players in the transaction. Now, had they kept Juan Soto, the reality was they would have had about $25 million to fill all the other holes. That's a big issue.
Right.
But you'd have less holes to fill if you had kept the center fielder and the left fielder. Could you have gotten quality pitching for the $28 million that was left? One starter, two starters, two relievers? Probably not. But AJ Preller created this situation. The situation might eat him alive. If this turns out to be a crap season this coming season, I think there are going to be a lot of heads to roll, and his might be the first. Is he a wizard? Has he been a Houdini? Has he done a lot of unique things to get players with his boots on the ground philosophy, every scout, every corner of the world? Yeah. He's going to have to work some magic now because the price on pitching has gone through the ceiling. He can't, should not, damn you, better not trade any of these prospects at AA and Class A.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are right now. End of the day, Michael King will be a starter. Tharp will be delivered a year and a half from now. They got Robbie Snelling coming within a year to a year and a half. But they didn't get enough. Not for an MVP guy.
No.
So that's where I am. I'm disappointed. I don't know if they were dealing from a power strength or they were dealing from a disadvantage because of all the things that were happening around AJ Preller.
Well, isn't it interesting that Preller, kind of made a reach to get Seth Lugo, who was a question mark if he could start, and then he had a great season, and now he's too expensive.
Same thing with Waka.
And same thing with Waka.
Same thing with Martinez.
Exactly. So you have to give Preller credit for that. But, they've probably got a whiteboard with their depth chart looking out 3 or 4 seasons in the future, and they probably saw all these holes coming. I just feel awful that Seidler put all of his chips in the table knowing that he was probably near the end of his life, and these guys blew the opportunity. So now they're going to have to figure out a way to restructure it. But with all those other big contracts, Preller doesn't have much wiggle room.
I confirm it. Every aspect that you've said. For the first time in your life, broadcasting from left field, you are right, John Riley. Okay, let's